Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Michael. Welcome back to IDB, and Apple has recently released iOS 16 Developer Beta 4. This is a pretty big update in terms of bug fixes. There are a ton of them, and also a few small changes in the software as well. So in this video, let's go ahead and check out everything new inside of iOS 16 Beta 4. So first up has to do with mail. So iOS 16 brings an undo send feature where as soon as you send an email, you have a button at the bottom of your mail app allowing you to undo that sent email. And now you have a few more options for undoing your message. So at the very bottom of mail settings, you have undo send delay. So you can choose to turn the feature off entirely if you're tired of seeing that undo send button. And now you can actually change the amount of time you have that button sticks around. So you have 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or 30 seconds. So depending on what time limit you set, that's how long you have to undo the email that you sent. Inside of the Home app here, we have a few new wallpapers that Apple has added. So if you click on the menu at the top right and click on Home Settings, you're able to scroll and click on Choose New Wallpaper. And I believe number 2 and number 3 are new wallpapers here in Beta 4. So you can pick some of these wallpapers. It looks kind of cool in the background of the Home app. Click on Set right there. And then as you can see, that's your new wallpaper for your Home app. All right, this is another really cool change. So inside of iMessage, you know how in iOS 16 you're able to undo a sent iMessage and also edit messages? Well, you can actually now see the history of edited messages. So you can click this little button here. It's highlighted in blue where it says edited. If you click that, you can see there is now a list of what the message used to be. So I'll show you this in real time. So if I send hi, and then I press and hold on it, and then I click edit, and then I change it to hello, you can see if I click on the button right there, I'm able to see the history of this message being edited. So I don't know if the person you're sending this to is able to do it unless you click on that button, but it is definitely a nice change that you're able to see the history of edits you've made to a message. And another change is inside of CarPlay. So if you have your iPhone tethered to your infotainment system in your car, you have a few new wallpapers for CarPlay. So you can see these top 3 here are new for iOS 16 in CarPlay. I kind of wish that this blue one was installed on my iPhone because it looks kind of nice, but I guess Apple is keeping it exclusive to CarPlay. So here's another change I really like. On the lock screen, you can see there's a lot more padding on the media controls. So there's a bit more padding around the album art, and you can also see that the scrubber for showing how far you are into your song is also a lot thicker now. It also looks like the buttons are a bit better spaced out, and overall just the layout of this Now Playing UI looks a lot better on the lock screen. And you're also going to notice when you click on the album art, it's kind of a better animation. So in previous versions of iOS, this was a bit choppy, but now when you click on it to go to the full screen player, it looks a lot more fluid and smooth. And then when you're actually in the music app on the Now Playing screen, you're going to notice you get that exact same redesign. So you can see that the volume scrubber and the time scrubber is a lot thicker now. So in previous versions of iOS 16, I found that this was a little bit too thin, and when you were trying to scrub through a song, it was a little bit hard to see. And now they have made both of these sections for scrubbing and volume a lot thicker. So next up is inside of notification settings, and this is a change I knew that they were going to bring because in previous versions of iOS 16 it just was too simple. So when you click on notifications, you can see we have a new UI at the top here which shows what your notifications are going to look like. Like I said, in previous versions of iOS 16, this was just displayed as plain text, as count, stack, and list. And you couldn't really decipher what these actually meant, and now you have a graphical overview explaining what each selection means. Another really small change, when you are setting a new lock screen and you haven't added any widgets yet, the section below your time now says add widgets instead of just being a blank box. And another really small one here, when you are deleting a lock screen and you click on the trash icon, it now says delete this wallpaper instead of saying just delete. We also do have a small change in terms of editing a wallpaper. So if you click on Customize and then click on Done, as soon as you get this pop-up, you can click on Customize Home Screen, and this UI is a little bit different. So the blur button, which turns on and off the blur for your home screen wallpaper, is now at the bottom right where it should be, instead of just floating in no man's land over the wallpaper. And for all of these buttons, you now have labels. Before, in Beta 3 and previous versions, these were just blank buttons. You couldn't really decipher what they meant, but now you can actually see what each button does. So original wallpaper, color, gradient, or you can also pick another photo. So next up, we have a very, very small change under display and brightness settings. This isn't anything functional, it's just a labeling change. So if you go to display zoom, you can see that it is now called larger text and default. Before, the bigger version was called zoomed. So just a very slight labeling change here inside of display settings. And apparently another change inside of iMessage is the unsend iMessage is now limited to 2 minutes now. So before, I believe it was limited to 15 minutes, and a lot of people were saying that's way too long to unsend an iMessage. Usually when I make a mistake and I want to completely unsend a message, it's going to happen within the first 15 to 30 seconds. So having 2 minutes to unsend an iMessage is definitely more than enough. I don't know why it was 15 minutes before, but here starting on beta 4, the limit to unsend an iMessage is now 2 minutes. Another small change here is on the lock screen. So if you want to edit your lock screen or your wallpaper and your phone isn't unlocked yet, I'll just cover my Face ID so my phone doesn't unlock for me. If I try to press and hold on the lock screen, as you can see, it says unlock to edit. So you have to unlock your phone or enter your passcode in order to change anything on your lock screen or change your wallpaper. And finally, one more change that I think is new, but I know you guys will help me out in the comments if I'm wrong about this, is on a few certain wallpapers, you are limited to what color you're able to set the clock. So say for example on this Pride wallpaper, if I click on customize here and then click on the time, it only lets me set 2 options as the color, this blend in color and also a pure white clock. So tell me in the comments if this was here also in beta 3, but on certain wallpapers you are limited to what color you can set the time. So all these updates are really appreciated. They are some nice changes, but what really matters to me is the stability of iOS 16. If you watched my previous video talking about how stable iOS 16 is, I was on beta 3 when I made that video. And beta 3 was probably the most buggy version of iOS 16 I've ever used. And luckily, the changelog for iOS 16 beta 4 is about triple the length of any other iOS 16 release. And based on what people are saying online, it looks like this is a major release in terms of bug fixes. So I really hope that's true because, like I said, iOS 16 beta 3 was probably the most buggy version of iOS 16 I've had on my iPhone. So as long as I can get much better battery life and less overheating problems on my iPhone, I will definitely be happy using iOS 16 beta 4. If you guys found any changes in this build that I missed in this video, make sure to comment down below. And if you guys found this video interesting or helpful, make sure to drop a like on it as well. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Michael with IDB, and I'll see you next time.